Okay, so let us continue our discussion on analog Chebyshev low pass filter design. Okay, so now let us see how to find the order capital N and epsilon from the given specifications. As I said in the previous lecture, the specifications are, the usual specifications are delta P and then pass band frequency omega p and then delta s and omega s. Okay, and obviously if delta p is known, then you can find out what is epsilon, right? Because 1 over square root of 1 plus epsilon squared is equal to delta p. If you take the characteristic, it will be like this. This is pass band frequency. So at pass band frequency, the magnitude is how much? 1 by square root of 1 plus epsilon squared. Okay. So let me call this is equation number 1. Okay, and from equation 1, we will be able to find out epsilon. Therefore, epsilon is equal to square root of 1 divided by delta p squared minus 1. Okay, so let me call this is equation number 2 and square it on both sides and take the reciprocal. Epsilon squared is equal to 1 by delta p squared minus 1. I'm sorry, okay, okay, so we got epsilon. Okay, let us leave it as it is. Okay, now from equation 1, if you square it and take reciprocal, then you will get this equation number 2. And therefore my stop band specification says that see, HA of j omega magnitude squared is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus epsilon square Cn squared omega by omega p. Okay, now from the specifications, this is omega s. When omega equal to omega s, what is the magnitude? The magnitude is delta s. Okay, therefore if you rewrite this equation, let me take the square and put the square root like this. Now at omega equal to omega s, this magnitude becomes delta s. Delta s in the right hand side, 1 divided by square root of 1 plus epsilon squared Cn squared of this omega is replaced by omega s by as it is omega p. Okay, now now square it. Therefore delta s squared is 1 divided by 1 plus epsilon squared Cn square of omega s by omega p. Or you can write this as epsilon squared Cn squared of omega s by omega p is equal to delta s squared minus 1. So Cn squared of omega s by omega p is equal to 1 by epsilon square delta s square minus 1. Therefore Cn of omega s by omega p is 1 over epsilon square root of 1 divided by delta s squared minus 1. Okay, now I'm going to write as follows: 1 by delta a square minus 1 divided by epsilon. And from equation 2, what is epsilon? Epsilon is square root of 1 by delta p squared minus 1. So you can substitute here. Therefore, the numerator 1 divided by delta a squared minus 1, in the denominator square root of 1 divided by delta p squared minus 1. So this is Cn of omega s by omega p. Now, haven't you got the same factor as in Butterworth? Yes, okay, the same kind of thing we got it there also. See, this I can write it as square root of 1 by delta a square minus 1 divided by 1 by delta p square minus 1. Now the next question is, what is this Cn of omega s by omega p? Is it because this is a Chebyshev polynomial, right? This is Chebyshev polynomial. Now, should I use cos or should I use cosh? That's the question. Now, you can see the argument of this guy. Look at this argument. Is this argument greater than 1 or less than 1? If it is less than 1, you can use cos. If it is greater than 1, you can use cosh. Okay, so if the argument is greater than 1, you can use cosh. If it is less than 1, then you can use cosine function. Now, if you look at the figure, in this figure, this is omega s and this is omega p. Now, omega s by omega p is greater than 1, right? Let's say if omega p is 1000 pi and this omega s, roughly I am writing, okay, 2000 pi. So, therefore, the stop band frequency is always greater than the pass band frequency. So, the ratio is greater than 1. So, this argument is greater than 1. And you have to use cosh. Okay. So, we know the formula for Cn of x. Cn of x is equal to cosh of n cosh inverse of x. Right. So, same formula you can use in the left hand side. Okay. So, this is going to be cosh n cosh inverse of x. Instead of x, I have omega s by omega p is equal to 1 by delta a squared minus 1 divided by 1 by delta p squared minus 1. Okay, now take this cosh to the right hand side. So, n cosh inverse of omega s by omega p is equal to cosh inverse of 1 by delta a square minus 1 divided by 1 by delta p squared minus 1. So, if we simplify this, then n is equal to the numerator cosh inverse of 1 by delta a square minus 1 divided by 1 by delta p squared minus 1. In the denominator, cosh inverse of omega s by omega p. Is it okay? Now, if you compare with Butterworth, order of the Chebyshev is a ratio of 2 cosh inverses. In the numerator also I have cosh inverse, and in the denominator also I have cosh inverse. Okay, the argument are the same as in the Butterworth, except that in Butterworth cosh inverse is replaced by log. Okay, so this is Chebyshev n suffix c. If you recall NB Butterworth, this is log to the base 10 square root of 1 by delta a square minus 1 divided by 1 by delta p square minus 1. Then again log to the base 10 this is going to be omega s by omega p. But instead of log in the numerator and denominator, here we have cos inverse. Okay, so we simply replace this log function by the cos inverse. And you know, this log is available in all calculator, but the cos inverse is not available in all calculator, and therefore for computing cos inverse you will have to use a log table or a mathematical handbook. Okay, and you know, some computers have cos inverse, but this is the formula. This is the formula to calculate the order of the filter, Chebyshev filter. Okay. Now, instead of using this formula, I can do one more shortcut way. So, if you recall, Cn squared of omega s by omega p, which is equal to 1 by epsilon squared times 1 by delta s squared minus 1. Okay, and this is our one of the intermediate equation. If you look at look at here, this is our intermediate equation. Let me call this equation number 3. I am reproducing this equation again one more time for reference. Okay, now using this intermediate equation, we can calculate the order of the filter by trial and error method instead of using this formula. Instead of using this, I can use this intermediate formula. Okay, in case if you do not have access to cos inverse, then what you do is, you know, omega s by omega p, it's a number, right? Omega s is given and omega p is given. And you know the right hand side, epsilon you know, and delta s also you know. Okay, so you have a numerical value for the right hand side, and you have the numerical value for this argument of your polynomial. So you have a Cn square of a known quantity. Then you try capital N, substitute capital N is equal to 1, capital N 2, 3 and so on so forth. Okay, try from, let's say, capital N equal to 2. If the right hand side is less than, if the right hand side is less, then you increment capital N by 1. So this can also be programmed. Increment N value from N to N plus 1 and see are they equal or not. The moment the left hand side exceeds, then you stop the calculation, and then that value corresponds to the order of the filter. Okay, so increment N to N plus 1 and then go on doing this, still the left hand side exceeds the right hand side, and there is no guarantee that they would be equal. Okay, so most of the cases they may not be equal. It doesn't matter. Okay, so if you do not have access to cos table, or the calculator doesn't have if you do not have access to cos inverse table, or the calculator does not have cos inverse, then you try this formula. Okay, then you try the relationship satisfied at the edge of the stop band. Okay, and since this omega s by omega p is known and the right hand side is known, you can find out capital N by iteration. Okay, try values till the left hand side exceeds the right hand side. Okay, it may exceed drastically sometimes. For example, what is Cn of x formula? Cn of x equal to, okay, instead of that taking general formula, let me take the specific case. For example, let's say n is equal to 2, then Cn square of 2 is equal to 2x square minus 1. So and let's say in this C2, and no, one second, let me write it properly. Let me call omega s by omega p is equal to 2, and capital, let me try n is equal to 2. Okay, now Cn square, I don't know the capital n value. Let us find out what is the n value. Okay, so this is known, right? So Cn square of 2. Now the question is how much if capital N equal to 2. Okay, so C2 of x is equal to 2x square minus 1. Then C2 of 2 is equal to 2 times 4, 8 minus 1, 7. Now we need Cn square, therefore C2 square of 2 is equal to 7 square, that is 49. Okay, so the right hand side may be 4 or 9, but in the left hand side you are getting 49. Let's say this value, in this formula, let's say the right hand side is some value 9, but unfortunately what happened, in the left hand side you are getting 49. Okay, sometimes see in the left hand side it is 49, but the right hand side it may be 9 or 5 or something else, 9 or 5, something like this. So in this case what happens, the left hand side exceeds the right hand side drastically, but nevertheless this is the desirable condition, because you are over satisfying the stop band specs. Okay, so that's how you will find the order of the filter in the Chebyshev method. And one more point I would like to mention here, this one, omega s by omega p, stop band to pass band, is called transition ratio. Okay, so this is called transition ratio. Obviously it is a transition from pass band to pass band edge to stop band edge. Okay, so it is called transition ratio. There are several other terms which have been used for transition ratio, but you can ignore them. Okay, now for Chebyshev filter, the order n suffix c is given by this formula. Okay, this formula. Okay, now as I said, if Cauchy inverse tables are not available, which usually are not, you may have to use a handbook, or you use the alternative that in the edge of the stop band, the relation. Okay, so at the end, that's what we derived here at the edge of the stop band. From intermediate equation we got this. Okay, so this formula we got it. You take this one and you can find out the order of the filter. Okay, and one more point I would like to mention here. See, the right hand side may not be an integer. Okay, so this right hand side may not be an integer, so in that case you have to take greater than or equal to nc. And similarly here also you have to put greater than or equal to. Okay, therefore the right hand side is known, the transition ratio also known, omega s by omega p is also known. Therefore you can do it by trial and error method, that is, guess estimated value of capital N and then find out the relationship between the left hand side and the right hand side, and increment capital N till the inequality is satisfied. Okay, so now in this calculation one has to be very careful. Okay, suppose if the inequality is satisfied critically and both sides are just equal, for example, then you look at it with the suspicion. Okay, you increase the accuracy of your computation. Okay, you increase the accuracy of your computation and look at it with a magnifying glass and see if the inequality is exactly satisfied or not. If not, then you increment n by 1. If it is exactly satisfied, then you should be very careful. Okay, so I mean, if it is exactly satisfied, then the hardware construction will take care that it is not satisfied. Even if exactly satisfied, then in all probability the hardware construction will conspire so that it is not satisfied. So even if exactly satisfied, you increment it by 1 to be on the safe side, because you are not doing any harm. You are only increasing the cost incrementally. If the filter had cost you rupees 100, maybe another 10 rupees will be added to it. So it is not a problem. Now this procedure of trial and error succeeds only if capital N is not very large. Okay, otherwise it become very laborious, because you will have to calculate this Cn of omega s by omega p at a large number of capital N's. Okay, this you can do by recurrence relation. So that recurrence relation, let me write down here just for the sake of completeness. Cn of x is equal to 2x Cn minus 1 of x minus C suffix n minus 2 of x. So you can use this recurrence relation to find the value of the right hand side, sorry, left hand side. Okay, so C0 of x equal to 1, C1 of x equal to x, C2 of x equal to 2x squared minus 1, and so on so forth. Cn of 0 is 0 if n is odd, and plus minus 1 if n is even. Okay, and in case if you don't like this formula, which one? This formula. Let me write down the formula one more time here. Cn squared of omega s by omega p is equal to what is this on the right hand side? Yeah, 1 by epsilon squared by delta S squared minus 1. Okay, so in case if you don't like this formula, then you can use an alternative relationship. Okay, so one of the alternatives is that that is the third alternative. This is the second formula, this one is the first formula. So I am going to give the third alternative to use the relationship cos inverse y. You can approximate this cos inverse y, which is as natural logarithm of y plus square root of y squared minus 1. Okay, so you can use, instead of cos inverse y, you can use log of y plus square root of y squared minus 1. In the calculator you know this ln expression. Okay, and this is the proof of this is very simple actually. So whenever you don't have the access to use cos inverse, then you can use this expression, so which is readily available to calculate. Okay, now let's say, how do you prove this actually? Let's say cos inverse of y is equal to theta. Okay, therefore y is equal to cos theta, isn't it? Okay, if you denote cos inverse y as equal to theta, then y is cos theta. Okay, so then this becomes ln of y is cos theta plus square root of y square is cos square theta minus 1. Cos square theta minus 1 is shin squared theta. Ln of cos theta plus shin squared theta square root, so it becomes shin theta. Okay, now cos theta plus shin theta is e to the theta. So this is theta. So what is there in the left hand side? Cos inverse of y. What is cos inverse of y? Theta. So it's proved. So it is a very simple proof. It is sometimes expedient to use this third alternative method. Okay, so you will have to use the first alternative in both the numerator, this formula, both in the numerator and the denominator of the first formula. Where is it? In this one. Okay, so the whole thing, this one you consider as y and this also a y, and replace this cos inverse and this cos inverse by this equivalent formula, ln of y plus square root of y squared minus 1. Therefore then your n suffix c is greater than or equal to, in the numerator you have ln of okay, that y, what is a y? You know that ln of y plus square root of y square minus 1. In the denominator, ln of, let's say, x plus square root of x squared minus 1. Okay, what is y here? Y is equal to square root of 1 by delta a square minus 1 divided by 1 by delta p square minus 1. What is x? X is equal to omega s by omega p. Substitute in this expression here, and then you can find out n suffix c. Okay, in case if you take the ratio, then you don't have to take the log natural either. You can use log to the base 10. Okay, these are the tricks in the calculation. Okay, therefore I have given you 3 methods. Whichever is suitable or convenient, you adopt it. You can use it. For large orders, one invariably uses this formula, because for large order you may not get the cos inverse values tabulated at sufficiently narrow intervals. Okay, so that's it about Chebyshev filter. So we start with some examples of Chebyshev filter approximations in the next lecture. So let me stop here. Thank you very much.